Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to be making this really cute book sleeve. It's so easy to make and it just comes with this little tie here and you can pop your book in and keep them all nice and safe and clean in your bags. So if you want to make this with me, keep on watching. So to start your project, you're going to need your yarn. I'm just using some leftover Hayfield bonus DK that I had from a blanket I did. Your crochet hook, so this is DK, I'm using a 4mm crochet hook and it is Clover and More because I love Clover and More. A needle, a darning needle to sew your ends in, and some scissors. Now this, if you've never made a granny square before, some videos suggest doing a magic circle. I never do a magic circle for my granny squares because I think they're really easy to come undone if you don't sew the ends in properly. So we're going to do the cheats method and I think it's more secure. So just start with your slip knot and then we are going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we are going to slip stitch into the very first chain space, and this makes our circle. If you can hear a bit of noise outside, I'm really sorry, it's a recycling men. And then we're going to chain 2, so 1, 2, and we are going to be working into the center of our circle. Now what you can do is you can crochet over your ends here and it just saves a little bit of sewing in time. I use UK terms, so this is a treble crochet right into the middle, so 1 off, which is a double crochet in the US. So 1, 2, and our chain here counts as a stitch, so technically that's 3. We're going to chain 1 and then we're going to do another 3 trebles or doubles if you're in the US into the middle, chain 1, and we're going to repeat that 2 more times, so we're going to have 4 clusters in total. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 1, 2, 3, and chain 1. And now we are going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 that we made. If I can find the top, right, there we go. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then we're going to pull that loop through this one. Like so, and then we're going to chain 2. And this is what we are left with, our little square with clusters of 3 trebles with a chain 1 in between. So now we're going to turn our work. I always turn granny squares because I think it makes it easier. And again, this chain 2 is counting as a stitch, so we're going to do 2 treble crochets into this chain 1 space here. So 1, 2, and now we're going to chain 1 because this is going to end up as a corner, so chain 1, and then 3 trebles. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're moving on to our next chain space. So we're not chaining 1 here, we're jumping over to this corner with 3 trebles. So 1, 2, 3, and again this is going to be another corner, so we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do another 3 trebles. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're jumping on to the next corner and the same again, 3 trebles, chain 1 and 3 trebles. So chain 1 and back down into that same space. 1, 2, 3, and then we are going over to this final corner here, and it's another corner, so 3 trebles, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 and another 3 trebles. 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to slip stitch into our chain space again up here to join our round. And this is what we are left with. So we have a corner, a space, a corner, a space, a corner, a space, a corner, a space. So now we're going to chain 2 and turn. So for this round, we're not starting in the corner, we're starting in this middle space. So you've already got your first treble in this chain 2, and then we're going to do 2 trebles. 1 and 2, and then we're going to jump across to this corner here. So as it's a corner, we're doing 3 trebles, chain 1 and back into that same space for 3 more trebles. 1, 2 and 3, and then we are into a middle space, so we don't chain 1 here, we're just jumping straight across to that space with 3 trebles. If you can hear my neighbour singing, I'm really sorry. And then we're back into a corner, so 3 trebles, chain 1 and 3 trebles. So we're going to repeat that all the way around. So in your middle space, just 3 trebles. In your corner space, 3 trebles, chain 1 and 3 trebles until we reach back to here where we're going to slip stitch. I am now just doing my final 3 trebles into this corner. And again, we're going to slip stitch into our chain 2 from the start of the round, chain another 2, and then turn. So this is only 5 rows of granny squares, so it's really simple to make as well. So we are now on row 4. So the same again, we're going to do 2 trebles, or doubles in the US, into this space. And now we're coming up to another corner. So we are going to do 3 trebles, chain 1, and another 3 trebles back into that corner space. And then we're moving on to this space here. So 3 trebles, and then as this is not a corner, we're moving on to this space with another 3 trebles. And this is our corner, so we do 3 trebles, chain 1, and another 3 trebles to get us round the corner. So you want to do that all the way around. So in these spaces here, 3 trebles, 3 trebles, and then 3 lots of trebles, 1 chain, and another 3 lot of trebles. So we're going to do that all the way around. So pause the video and I'll meet you when we get to here. So I'm just coming up to my final space here. So 3 trebles, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain, chain 2, and turn. And this is going to be our final round of our granny square. So 2 trebles, as that chain counts as a stitch, 3 trebles into this space here, and then we have a corner here, so we do 3 trebles, chain 1, and another 3 trebles, and then 3 trebles, 3 trebles, 3 trebles, and then our corner. So we're just going to do the same as the previous rounds. So trebles in the spaces, 3 lots of trebles, and then 3 trebles, chain 1, 3 trebles in the corner. So I'll meet you when you get to this space here, so pause the video. So I'm just coming up to my last space here. So 3 trebles, and then I'm going to join with a slip stitch, and this is our last round. Let me just check, because I do have a counting problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just going to slip stitch into here, and then we're going to chain 1, cut our yarn, put our hook up and tighten that off, and this is what you should be left with. So you will need 4 of the granny squares. Don't forget to sew your ends in. Do it now, it saves time. So let's just sew our ends in and I'll show you how to join it. So we are going to take our granny squares and put them this way and then fold them in half. Make sure you've got the wrong side on the inside, so where you sewed your ends in on the inside like this, and fold them in half, and the same with this one and then with this one, and we are going to join our squares like so. So you want to grab one square up against the other and we're going to join this line here, but make sure you match the stitches up from each row. So your chain 1 space is here, and then we're going to make sure we have our chain 1 space on the other side, and we are just going to sew them together, which I'm going to show you how to do now. So I've just attached my yarn onto the first stitch here, right in the corner, the first one of these trebles. And like I said, we need to make sure that our stitches match so it sews evenly. So I tend to just do the back loops of each piece, and we're just going to sew until we get to the end here. Just all the way along. Really, really simple, just making sure that our stitches match. So I have sewn this bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this side to this side and this side to this side, and I'm going to carry on sewing down here, and it just saves breaking the yarn off. So when we turn it, we'll have one side done. So I've now sewn this one on, and instead of breaking my yarn, I'm just going to carry on down this side and do this corner. You can do it all individually if you want, but I just think it's easier to do it all kind of with one piece of yarn. So when we've gone down here, we're going to turn over and go down this side, and then we'll be here. So for our final piece to sew on, we're just going to sew these pieces here, because then this is going to be our flap for our sleeve. So I'm just going to sew mine on. I don't know whether, I think I'm going to go up there and then up there. So this is all now sewn together. So we have our top for our flap, and it looks like this. It's so cute. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a little tie that we can tie around here. Really, really easy. We're just going to attach some yarn and chain. So let's get our yarn ready. So this is the really easy part. We're just going to make a slip knot and we're just going to chain. So you can chain as long or as short as you want. What we're going to do is attach it to here and have it so it can wrap round and tie, but you might want yours a bit shorter. So really easy, just make your chain as long as you want it to be, and then I shall show you how to attach it. So I have chained about 60 for mine, and you want to leave a little bit of a tail because we're going to tie our bit of cord on. So just give it a pull. That's how you finish it off, just finish chaining and then. So we are now going to tie this on. So just find that corner space and we're just going to knot it on. And then we can sew the ends in afterwards and we are done. You could always decorate this and put some like a heart or a flower on it. I think that would look really pretty. So we'll just tie this on. And we are done. I'm going to sew this end in and then to tie it we can just wrap it round like so. Let me get a book. And there we have our super cute book cozy all finished. And then to tie you can just do this. If you want to make yours a bit bigger because you've got a bigger book, just add some extra rows to your each granny square. You could do 6 or 7 rows if your book is bigger. But there we go, all finished and super cute. Hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.